set up an electricity market in this country at the height of the Celtic Tiger, and it is ripping people off. As the Turf Cut has pointed out, there are people dying from fuel poverty in this county and in this country. We have the highest electricity prices in Europe by a country mile, double the EU average, whereas 10 years ago we were amongst the cheapest. Payback period for modern wind turbines in this county will be about 3 years, and they will last 50, 100 perhaps. I'm not asking people to vote for me as an individual. I'm asking them to vote for themselves, for their resources.
Our wind resource in this country is worth a vast fortune, in fact far more than the Corrib gas field, and that will put it into some kind of context for most of our listeners.
Ireland should reclaim ownership of our natural resources to help fund the country during the current economic crisis. That's the view of Dermot McDonnell, an independent election candidate in Mayo.
Mayo is top of the list for onshore wind, and Donegal is second. So this is very much a case of what's good for Mayo happens to be good for the country. Now, I happen to believe that production in Mayo will be sufficiently good that we should end up owning, the state should end up owning, or we should socialise the income from large-scale wind farming in places like northwest Mayo. There's very, very genuine pain out there. There's a lot of people who are absolutely broke. There are a huge number of people who are in negative equity. There are a huge number of people in the public service that will now be worried about their jobs. And can I say, if we are going to lose people out of the public service, can we lose them off the top? We have a bureaucracy in this country, and it's not the government that really runs this country. We have this enormous faceless bureaucracy. If you look at your ESP bill, on top of what you pay for energy, there's a levy in there. Half of that levy goes to Board Namona and the ESB to burn turf that our own people aren't allowed to burn. Now, these people are told that that's European rules. When we went to Europe in relation to the wind turbines, and the head lawyer there, who happens to be an Irishman, told us they had no problem. I try not to be hypnotised by the mess we've got ourselves into. I'm trying to find solutions to the problems. So my role in the Dáil would be reform number one. We need to have parliamentary committees that can summon people in, that can compel them to give testimony, that can give the same kind of immunity from prosecution to whistleblowers, for example, who are in these organisations and want to tell the story. And, this defeats a tribunal system which has just been a gravy train for lawyers going on 15 years now. We've got nothing out of it, and when it does finally come out with a 500-page report in 10 different books, nobody's going to read it, right? We need to have these people on telly answering questions in front of Dáil committees, and if they lie to the people of this country, they should go to jail.